Everything checks out. Heading initiated.
Is something amiss? If there's anything you need... Goodbye.
Looks like another false alarm. What the? We gotta move. I can't see.
Always worth checking. Don't know what you might find in your pockets. Give up already.
I cannot wait. Take control.
Are you prepared to die?
I will have your head.
An impressive investment in equipment. Someone certainly considered this worth the time and credits.
Did you need some? I am always with.
We lost one.
It's not the best you can do. Best not to leave anything useful behind.
hello. I have never been one to... Very good.
What's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on?
Any troubles you need to share?
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.
Well, well. Back for more, eh? And we're locked in.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Anything I can help you with? Got anything you need to offload? Trade authority? Okay, no problem.
You didn't hear this from me.
This area's off limits. Authorized person. An outbreak?
Sean, I don't want to go over this again. I'm tired, all right? Just not today.
You can't be okay with this, though, right? You took an oath, and I'd say this is a firm violation.
Look, we got that shipment. Although who knows what Faye expects me to do with it.
Hey, who let you in here? In that case, you'll want to speak to Dr. Lane.
This damn contract will be the death of me. Excuse me, but this is a restricted area. You need to leave. Your timing could be better. A little warning next time. I'll just take a moment to check up on my patient. We better get that approval soon.
That outbreak is still contained.
Welcome to Freestar Space. We're going to do a quick scan for contraband and you can be on your way. That's all we need.
Do
Keep out of my way and I'll keep out of yours.
Is that my beautiful shipment? You were right about this one, Masako. Looks like it. This should be more than enough. Now, I shall excuse myself and get to work on finalizing this prototype.
So, what did you learn about CM Station RC-1? Lucas must be desperate if he hired them to collect the Rothicite. Were there any survivors? Seeking Ecliptic on a station with nothing but miners and scientists? Corporations can sink low, but this is a new level. Now, I also had a report that you were spotted at the clinic. I take it you traced the shipment there? Dr. Lane? I believe Vina is familiar with his work, specializing in neurosurgery. Were you able to determine what he was doing at the clinic? So, it sounds like Lucas has reached a new level of desperation to ensure his future as CEO.
Infinity appears to be on an entirely different level of corruption. It cannot be allowed to continue.
I'll make sure Yuko's team extracts every bit of information they can from the clinic's database on this. Between hiring Ecliptic and unauthorized human trials, we have enough to take Lucas down for good. And with the Rothicite secure, it's almost time for us to make our move. It certainly is. And it's also time to inform the rest of the board on the current situation. Head up to the executive floor and speak to Dalton. He has an update for you on the mole's identity. I've called a meeting and I expect you to attend. It's time to put the final plan in motion.
Hey there.
Good. You're right on time. I reevaluated all the evidence. It took every resource I had, but the final answer is clear. Ularu is the mole.
So this clears Imogen of wrongdoing. Good.
Indeed. I've briefed Masako and discussed her plans on handling this. While we both agree Ularu is guilty, we need irrefutable evidence before presenting this to the board. For now, we lead everyone to believe that Imogen was the mole, and the situation was dealt with.
I can understand the need for deception, but it does come at quite a cost.
Good. Keeping Ularu in the dark is the key to taking her down. Masako has tasked Ularu with writing the program to bring down Infinity Ltd. We believe she'll take the chance to incriminate Masako within the program, so this could provide the evidence we're looking for. You will be tasked with the assignment to infiltrate Infinity, so before you go, I want you to bring that program to me. Then we'll have to find another way to build a case against Ularu. Good. Once Ularu believes she's properly deflected any suspicion, I've no doubt she'll be bold enough to hide. Now, we called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogene Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget, the mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives. Watch me.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity Ltd, and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority the experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
I can't imagine the mess their legal department has on their hands.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Misako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send down the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this. And that's precisely why I know we can count on you. Vina will be waiting for you in the neuroamp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
I've got my eye on you. Are you sure you're okay?
Did they have anything of value?
Double check those measurements
You
are right.
appear dehydrated. I suggest
Here's my lucky candidate. I hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey. Oh, don't worry. That's not on the agenda. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus.
Did I not just say I quadruple checked the numbers?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured. There's little to no risk, assuming your brain is typical and you don't have any adverse reaction to the anesthesia. First sign of trouble, we back out and start evaluating. You're gonna be fine. All I'm saying is that you're in good hands. Now, just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we should be good to go.
Neuroamps are fascinating, are they not? I'm still surprised they've not been completely outlawed.
All right, let's get this party started. Well, look who's finally up. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing. So, how are you feeling? You look good? That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation. Great. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says. That's the spirit. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
Understood about half of it. Made me happy I became an engineer instead of a physicist.
Well, don't let us slip to DeMarcus that she lectured you. He'll give you a 3-hour lecture of his own about why he disagrees with your theories.
hard not to worry about the
Oh my god, that was incredible! What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now. I'm curious if any other side effects may manifest.
So, tell me all about it. Yes! Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment. It's truly remarkable. When it comes to your job, you bet it does. Besides, the neuroamp isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions our subjects sanction in their own minds.
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, it sounds like you have an assignment to complete. And DeMarcus.
If Vina offers you a job as a lab rat,
The spoils of victory. Hopefully they amount to something.
Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neuroamp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. And wish he shall, every day, while he rots away in prison. All right. Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have 2 options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer, in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse, so I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
That's what we're counting on. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd., all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Exactly. And what the public doesn't know doesn't hurt them.
It is best to keep the public unaware of such a device.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Understood.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. My thoughts exactly. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. And that's what we're hoping for. If you can pull...
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem necessary on their own to confirm the story. It certainly will, and we'll have front row seats. So, any final... Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up, Skylar Lumen.
This deal could be huge for my company.
Do you have the program? I'm certain Ularu won't pass up this opportunity. So, let's take a look. Aha! The decryption's hit a snag. There's definitely something here. This is exactly what we needed. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity Ltd network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials.
So it is clear what she intended. Now all that is left is to decide what to do with this information.
I'm going to copy the necessary files off this slate and issue you a new one. I want to keep this one intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Then it is time we use it.
Yes. I'm looking forward to putting this all behind us. Without that falsified evidence, Ularu is in for a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Misako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
The city certainly projects a powerful image for the United Colonies, eh?
Terramorphs. Giant carapace-encrusted tanks. Hence the new scanning protocols. On our watch, no heat leach.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking.
Hello. I shall do as you ask.
Gas leak detected. All non-essential personnel must evacuate the building. Please find the nearest exit and contact emergency services.
Sir. You have a nice day now.
You can't go in. You just
If you ever find yourself with a hot
But
lead,
David's
we
my
will
friend.
do our best to
He
protect
writes
your
me.
anonymity.
I hate to
Can I help you?
but his PA signs all those cards and headshots. Mr. Barron's a very busy and important
Well,
man.
I'll be the judge of that. What's this so-called story about?
Listen, I might be able to hook you up with some merch. Maybe get you a ticket to a speaking gig he's got.
All right,
That's all I can do.
I'll take a look. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Of course. I just hope your source is as reliable as you think they are. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Please tell me you're not here to see Mr. Barron.
The syndicate's been
I believe you were specifically told that we did not want a body count on this assignment. Wrong. The execution matters just as much. All the tools at your disposal, and yet I hope you at least attempted to use the internal... And yet not useful enough to avoid a body count? Still, it's good to know the application. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
The murders are believed to be linked to a new investigation where Drexler would have been accused of numerous violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. So this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith. Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception. It is the right thing for Ryujin, which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them. Good. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I trust you'll get it done.
Don't cause any trouble.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. That blasted tech. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. I suppose you're right. My first priority will be to get the board. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd, we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ula...
If only there were more hours in the day. Great, the bane of my department. If you need something, make it quick. Not much to discuss there. I believe I've made my case quite clear to Masako on why I am against it. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. Have you been spending too much time with Lyndon? There's more. If it was anyone other... I prefer to operate on an abundance of caution. That's a decent argument. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Are you trying to add to my stress right now? First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severe. In an ideal situation, yes. And I suppose creating that ideal, Now you've made it sound like a proper challenge that I can't help but accept. Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset aside from the internal neuroamp. That Ryuj... This exchange has been...
If operation starts to bore you, let me know. You'd make a perfect lab rat for the R&D team. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory. That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate... One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you... I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work. Fine. Make your case. It does overstep some bounds, I'll give you that. Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world... It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work? I never stopped to consider if it was right. I guess it'll be up to... We just have to hope. So the next question... That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most all we can do now...
You're looking interesting. Just the person I wanted to see. An efficient exchange. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd. Do you think they're worth redemption? Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporation. It's a financial burden. This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to... Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako... And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your... Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can... It's only dangerous to those who... I think we all know how averse I am to chaos. Finances are my forte, so you make a good point. Our competition has yet to truly... This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Is Masako checking up on me? Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that we just need to grab and... I'm all about free... You know, if any of those... All right, so let's hear it. The possible backlash on tech like that. However, it's not an opportunity, you just... You're right. Even worse. Well, it seems you're...
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, the internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors. This is exactly... Good. If you use that neuroamp wisely, it... well, you're oddly... As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind. An issue? Dalton and Alexis are the only two against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down. Dangerous indeed. For all I know. Perhaps I didn't see it earlier, but you're... The last thing I want is to... Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of...
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity Ltd's current situation makes them more affordable than ever.
Arguments?
Acquiring Infinity Ltd now is not a good look, especially if the public believes Misako was involved.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Misako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Misako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Misako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
The moment the public gets wind of the true capabilities of this tech, we're gonna suffer severe backlash.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
We'll start up discussions on how to handle Project Dominion in the future. In the meantime, at least the only person to have one is our own operative. Internal neuroamp research will continue. The dangers have been noted. And don't worry, I'm certain between Alexis and Genevieve, any legal or moral issues will be taken care of by the time it goes to market. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
At least if you're here, you're not screwing up out there.
So, Infinity LTD learned a lesson the hard way. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here. I suppose it is. Gratitude isn't something you typically hear these days in the corporate world. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time. I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would
This deal could be huge for me.
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back. And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own person. And the best perk of them all, you're free to... Oh, and you certainly will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions,